Mic was off on that last video, so I just restarted it because I don't want no hangups. But I guess this is what happens when you go live. But in this video, basically what we're gonna be showing is people talking about how black people are indigenous to America. Like when we were here when they got here, and I think a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't understand this. I'm not gonna say like a lot of black people. It's a lot of the other races. A lot of the people that came into this country don't know the stories behind the things that happen. So we're gonna put them up on game. Like, well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just keep showing and keep running this. So if you ain't subscribed, sub up, like the video, and we're gonna keep it running.
Before this nation was named, indigenous black peoples lived, built, and governed here. The great world's fairs were remnants of their cities. Across this nation once stood many centers of black commerce, not one Wall Street, but many. These communities were connected by trade, by innovation, by grand world fairs. They represented an older world still alive, and that continuity frightened those who sought control. So those centers were dismantled, their prosperity erased by the very forces that later claimed to civilize this nation. The word American describes the people of the copper-colored race. Its original heirs, the original nobility of this country, are the so-called black Americans. They are heirs to histories older than myth.
That is how I see.
Well, that's why if you really want to not offend people, stop calling people African Americans.
Yeah.
Use the word African, and you're insinuating 12.5% or higher African blood. There's a lot of black races. The Africans are the only ones that are fucked. The Moorish people, all these other cultures, all these other bloodlines that would never in a million years be classified as a Negro. It even says right in the definition, all colored people, Negroes are always colored people, but not all colored people are Negroes. Literally one of the definitions right out of the book. What that definition is referring to is there's a lot of black races that are not of African descent. When you say African American, you're saying persons. You're calling them a persons. We think that's friendly. We think that's kind. And we don't realize that we're essentially insinuating that they are a released slave of African descent. And we're insinuating they are a persons and not a people. I mean, I wonder if you'd have more standing as neither than you would as a persons. Like, if I wasn't a free white man and I had to choose between being a persons or being just like nothing, I'd almost say like, I'd rather be stateless or have nothing than be a persons, than be an African. Let's say a real dark-skinned Brazilian person. What is their bloodline? What is their? Certain Indian tribes have very dark skin.
Yeah.
There were people who were here in America even before us that had dark skin, and they're out in the sun all the time, or what? Who knows what? They look even darker than they really are. All Negroes are colored people, but not all colored people are Negroes.
So, escaping that matrix, learning, conditional acceptance.
Like me saying European American. I'm not European. I'm specifically Irish and German. But you can't say that. You are American. You're the original Americans. Everyone else is immigrants. You can't even be called immigrants. No. You're originally American, and your culture is as close to being the indigenous culture of America as the.
It is that. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
Did you know one of the biggest clues about who the so-called African Americans really are is all in the language? Let me explain. When Europeans first arrive in places like Virginia, the Carolinas, and Georgia, they noticed something they couldn't explain and something they later tried to hide. The dark-skinned people they wanted to label as Negro, mulatto, or colored, they already spoke native languages fluently. Algonquian, Powhatan, Arawak, even regional trade dialects. So tell me, how does someone fresh off a ship suddenly speak the exact indigenous tongue of the land that they supposedly just arrived in? They don't. That doesn't make sense. Because these were not outsiders. They were the original people of the land, American Indians. Colonial governors actually complained that many of the people they tried to classify as Negro were speaking native languages in court. Did you know one of the biggest clues about who the so-called African Americans really are?
That's
All right,
crazy.
racists, we're going to address this again since the
That'd be
inferior people
wild,
are struggling. Black Americans are the only indigenous people on this land. Melanated people are the only people around the world who are indigenous on every land, no matter their ethnic group. Uncivilized
traveled
lands all
everywhere.
have the same genetic connection, melanated skin with varying shades of brown. And those groups are not connected to Africa, just like Black Americans aren't connected to Africans ethnically. The actual American Indian, known as the Black Americans, are the ethnic group of North America, not descendants of Africans. Let's dismantle the greatest public relations fraud ever committed, the desperate multiracial campaign to erase the true indigenous Black American from this land. There is a coordinated effort, a relentless lie, designed to make Black Americans believe they are a guest in someone else's house. But the unchangeable archaeological and historical truth is that Black Americans are the foundation. They were here first. And by here, I mean the world, every country, every strip of land. And they built the civilization that we are all destroying. The lie about Africa is to confuse and mislead so that the theft can keep going on. Black Americans weren't even considered African American until 1988 by Jesse Jackson, a known Cherokee Indian. So they'll pay a Black American leader to lie and sell out while classifying himself correctly despite the lie. If Black Americans came from Africa by boat in the 1600s, America didn't figure this out until 1988. And this isn't just a white lie. This is a lie woven by $5 Pretendians, by secret treaties between immigrant groups, by decades of policy and propaganda, all aimed at one single goal: convincing the world that the original people of the soil simply do not exist. They have every story in the world about the false history. And then you ask for ship manifest and evidence of ships, and then suddenly they can't produce them. But they could show you evidence of the Titanic hundreds of feet under the ocean. They won't even show you the entirety of the Titanic under the water. Only a corner of this ship. They still parse that history. They have reclassified the true indigenous people, renamed you, and redrawn maps around you, hoping you would forget the land your spirit is made from. Now they deploy their little native influencers online, armed with fraudulent petitions and digital picket signs, begging platforms to remove you from your own story. They're performing a pathetic pantomime of indigeneity. If you are indigenous, why would you need outside help? What are they protecting? If you're truly indigenous Native Americans, how could someone take that from you? By the sudden panic. Every post they make, every petition they circulate is an admission. You've been caught, and now history will be made. Every other race are the visitors. It is time, Black Americans. Time for you to start acting like the host in your home, because all of this is yours. It is time you start acting like the host.
Wow.
All right, racists.
They're warriors. From the very beginning, Black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Let's continue to correct the propaganda and the attempt at erasing the truth. Black Americans are not the descendants of the Indians in the history books. They are the Indians. The proof has been buried, but it's not gone. When Christopher Columbus washed up on these shores, lost and delirious, who did he write that he found? He called them Indios. He mapped a land he labeled India Superior, a territory that included Florida. He wasn't hallucinating an empty land. He was documenting people who were already there. These images can be found in Gran Canaria, Spain, at the Columbus Museum, Casa de Colón. And who were those people? They weren't the pale-skinned Siberians who crossed a land bridge, that's for sure. The historical records, the artwork from the era, the very descriptions, they detail people with dark skin, with hair textures that Europeans had never seen. They describe the original people as dark-skinned and woolly haired, the true owners of the soil. The people that Columbus met were Black Americans, the West Indians of the Caribbean, the Indians of the North and South American coasts. All of these territories were Black civilizations. Native Americans are the erasure. They are the last part of the destiny swap, a foreign invasive group from Siberia, and was grafted onto the identity of the people who were already here, while the original people were systematically reclassified, enslaved, and renamed to sever their claim to the land. The Indian
That is crazy, bro. But, you know, like a lot of us already knew this. First, your census copper-colored Americans listed as free people or Indian. So which the dictionary defines American as native of America, originally applied to the copper-colored races. Indian Removal Act forces indigenous people off their lands. Census records reclassified Native Americans as mulatto or colored. Bro, This like the whole from the 1790 to 1887. Dawes Act allows white settlers to pay for indigenous status. 1893 to 1914, Dawes Rose complete the reclassification many indigenous people as Negro. They took and changed our whole identity, and we accepted it. Like we sometimes accept it now, but then a lot of us go, well, you know, because my great great grandmother was Indian.
Aimed to sever their claim to the land. The Indian Removal Act was a removal of black indigenous nations. The face on the old nickel, the buffalo nickel, that proud profile was a black indigenous man, an American Indian. Every time someone speaks about Native American history while pointing to a group that arrived later, they are perpetuating the final stage of the conquest, the theft of the victim's identity. They replace the people and the story. Black Americans are not a people without a land. They are the land. They are India superior. They are the Indians that Columbus couldn't miss, and that every power since has tried to make you unsee. The map doesn't lie. The history books do.
Man, that's
So
why
I
they
came
tell
across
you
this
to read
video
the
of this
history
white man
books.
claiming that black Americans are the true indigenous people of America. This shit's spreading fast, man. I just want y'all to listen to this. This is a whole white man claiming that black Americans are indigenous to America.
And
Yeah, this is hella
so
deep,
here's
bro.
just something that I
Look,
always
we've been knowing this, right? We've been knowing this, but when we say it, bro, they try to make it seem like we don't know what the hell we talking about. You feel me? That's why I never, bro. I don't care what, bro. I never called myself a black American. I couldn't stand that for some reason, because I always felt like I was native to this land. Like, you feel me? Like it's weird, bro. This shit is hella weird. It's crazy, but it's interesting.
knew was fake. This is fake. This doesn't work. The logistics behind this, it doesn't work. How do you feed and give water to all these people? They would, hilariously enough, one of the big things that can wake you up to all sorts of different conspiracy is, where's the poop? You're telling me that this many people were just going poop and pee down here in this deck? They would all be dead. All of them would be dead by the time the trip was over. How do you get water to the guy way over in the corner? And food. All of these people are supposed to be starving. Are you telling me that they politely hand out the rations one to the other? How are they giving these people food and water? They claim that a lot of these people were chained up the entire time. Because of course people have the natural question, how could they possibly keep all of these people from rebelling? And they have some stories of slave rebellions or whatever, just drawings, and that they want you to, I don't know, they wanted to have an explanation for where dark-skinned people came from. So they made up this hoax, this slave trade. I do agree that dark-skinned, what people call African Americans today, they probably started here in America, and the Native Americans, it's just a big hoax. I think the Native Americans, they took a certain group of people and they used them as a land grab. Okay, we're going to scatter you all throughout America and claim that you people were the native people here. And then they used them in their psyops, and now they have them with the casinos and stuff. But yeah, I think they probably did take away what people call today black people. I really don't like that term, black people, white people. So I don't know, dark-skinned, light-skinned. I don't know if that's any better. I think that dark-skinned people have always been here in America, and
what's up, Bless?
Maybe there is some truth to the Africa thing, African, because I believe that USA is ancient Egypt. So maybe America is like the real Africa. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I do agree that African Americans, dark-skinned people, they're the true natives to America, most likely. And the Native Americans, it's probably just one tribe of people that they used in the psyop for a huge land grab. Oh, we're gonna pretend like you people were the natives. It's just like a controlled opposition. They had control over these native people. I don't know. It's just one tribe. They all look very similar. All the different native people. So they took these people and they've used them to do a huge land grab. Anyways, that
shit
You can
works,
be
too.
upset about this theory without being anti-black, because a lot of you Indians, I love you. I do. I love you. Non-Afro Indigenous Indians, Native people, Indigenous people are using this theory, this conspiracy theory, as a reason to be anti-black on your TikToks. I don't like it. And you can say, well, I'm not being anti-black. You are, bruh. You are. You are. You know you are. And I can see it. And it's not even necessarily exactly what you say. It's just how you say. And the comments that seem to be appropriate. Like, you know it when you see it. And it's unacceptable. You could be upset about this fringe little group of people doing something weird. And you can be like, you know, get the fuck off of my reservation, without turning it into like an anti-black campaign that's like secretive. And I don't like it. You can be.
Yeah, they would do that.
Many of y'all guys do not like hearing the truth, because the truth hurts when you're taught a lie. Why would the Europeans come all the way to America to conquer the land, mistreat the indigenous people, enslave the indigenous people, just to turn back around and give them land, taxpayer dollars, and the right to govern itself? Who do you really think is the original people of this land? The original people of this land was never given the right to sovereignty. White people's behavior towards black indigenous people proves that story. Like burning down black towns so they can keep black people beneath the boots of white settlers. Black Americans have been reclassified multiple times throughout history on U.S. census, but never giving the right to govern itself. And that's how you know that black people are the original indigenous people. Many
each state is a different
People
experiment.
do not come from Africa, nor did we come to America on slave ships. They lied. Yes, white people created that story so they could steal our homeland from us. And they did it by indoctrinating our parents when they were children.
You're a Negro.
No.
I am your teacher. You are a Negro.
No.
Suppose I threatened to beat you, what would you say? Aren't you a Negro now?
No.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. Go sit down. You had to think about that a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
People do not come from Africa, nor did we come to America.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Anywhere on earth in
crazy.
history. African Americans are a completely unique phenomenon as a people. Who they are culturally, what their history is, what their experience is, isn't duplicated anywhere on earth. But you don't know where you came from. You don't know what country you came from. You don't know what culture you came from. You don't know what language you came from. You don't know what your religion was before. You, like I've said before, you're more American than anyone because you don't have any other identity. Actually, your entire identity is American-based. That's not the case of anyone else. I'm Irish American. I'm German American. I'm Italian American. I'm Jewish American. I'm this or that, the other. You can say African American, but you don't know anything about Africa. You don't even know which part of Africa. Africans don't call themselves that because I know my tribe. I have my language. I have my region, my country, my whatever. Like me saying European American. I'm not European. Anywhere on earth.
All a lie. Everything we've been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people. We were so good at it that we just wiped out any trace of their language and their culture. All a lie.
As you're aware, in
That's
1912, Dr. Walter Plecker became the first director of the Bureau of Vital Statistics. Prior to that, there were no birth certificates, and he was a director up until the 1940s, 1946, until his death. But he was part of the eugenics movement, which was a movement about creating one race of people, which was white, and everything else was put in a pot, as Tina Marie would say, and stir it up and call colored. But he went beyond board on that, wherein
As far as first Americans are concerned, he changed birth certificates and marriage license. He even put out letters to census takers in 1930 that people such as myself that are first Americans and Native Americans, that he considered us as being bastards, that we were just trying to be Indian to marry into the white race. What's so interesting about that was that in the 30s, he gave a presentation in New York City and on eugenics. And there were commanders associated with Adolf Hitler that attended that particular meeting.
But basically, when he was the registrar for the Bureau of Vital Records, he changed the names of Indian people in Southampton County.
Exactly.
Their race from Indian to Negro or colored.
Well, it was referred to as colored. And basically all the tribes in Virginia in the early 1900s were referred to as colored, okay? Then after the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, everything that was in that colored bowl became Negro.
What the fuck, bro?
Black Americans are the real natives of the United States and also South America. And the red natives, they don't want to talk about it. I have seen radio silence from the red Siberian natives. You want to know why? Because the Muskogee tribe, after they lost in court to the black Muskogee, when they tried to kick out the black Muskogee, they had to admit there were black natives. Even the Cherokee are saying it, and now the Choctaw are saying it. Wait a minute, you told me there were no black natives. You said I was a Pretendian. I was a long-lost African. That's what you told me. You said this shit. I heard this shit. I responded to this shit. I've had video sticks with that same bullshit message. And now all of a sudden we see that, whoa, even over in England, even over in freaking Europe.
It's new to me too. That's why I had to do the video. I said, wait, what? Like the Indians is saying it. Like it's crazy, bro, because man, I'm telling you, bro, like we the superheroes of this shit, bro. You know, it's a lot of fuckery going on. But it's a lot of truth coming to light. And you know, you gotta understand when a certain race of people is so-called spiritual, but they living on a lie, bro, after a while, it's going to start to fuck with them. You feel me? Like, it's going to start to mess with them to where they're going to come out and they're going to, hey, man, bro, you know, yeah, this is what they did. Like, you see the Asian said it. The Asian lady, she said, look, man, this is what they did. They played us against y'all. But it's crazy because they told us, listen how fucked up this shit is. They told us, our chiefs, that they told us our chiefs, our kings that was running our country in Africa sold us to them. So now we mad at ourselves. Now we mad at Africans, right? Hey, what you mean? The Africans, this what they did. Then they went to these people and said, hey man, you know, we gonna give y'all the forefront in order to, you know, to rule over these people. Like, we gonna give y'all the forefront. We're going to give it to y'all and make y'all these people right here. And now we like they got us all kind of putting us all against each other without us even knowing. You feel me? Whoever the one that is kind of running shit, they just putting us up against each other. It's like, and with lies though. But you know, it can't be lies because the ones that was getting the money, you feel me? They wasn't saying nothing. They wasn't saying shit, bro. They wasn't saying nothing. They was receiving and keeping it moving.
All the people over there were black. That was a perplexing discovery just made as of last month, and nobody wants to talk about it. Why? Motherfucker, why? Why don't you want to talk about the study that was done by the University of California at Riverside in conjunction with the University of Oregon with professors like Ed Booth, who discovered that, yeah, there were black people in South America. Even the Mayan language is really kind of African. Even your gods and goddesses are kind of African. You go over to Brazil, samba, go listen to samba and go listen to freaking African music. It sounds almost virtually identical. Even you go over to Mexico with the freaking merengue drums. Come on now. Pinto beans are not Mexican. Okay? Even your so-called Spanish rice is just jollof with freaking tomatoes in it. That's all it is. Yes, we've been here. We've been here for a long time. You go look up a picture of the Mission Indians of California and you tell me that's not a black tribe. Them black folks, we've been here for the longest time and it makes the most sense. What the hell do you think out of Africa means? Yes, everybody, if you trace your lineage, it goes back to Africa. That don't make you African. You don't go over to fucking Jamaica and be like, well, you know what? Hello, my fellow African. They be like, Bumba and smack the fuck out of you, and you would goddamn deserve it.
Yeah, the
No,
Omax.
we had our own ethnogenesis right here. Right here. There's a reason why the freaking Australian indigenous people look so black. There's a reason why so many people in freaking India look black. There's a reason why you've always found black people in freaking Egypt, South America, North America, even Europe, as you're seeing. With all these white people, they all started off as Negroes, and yet for some reason the red natives here thought they were the fucking exception. No, you only started this bullshit in the late 70s, in the early 80s, because you got those first casinos and you wanted to cut us out of all that goddamn money like the bastards you are. That's the truth. We are the real fucking natives, and you already said it.
Hey, I said this a long time ago. See, we need motherfuckers to be mad at this shit. You feel me? Because they trained us to be soft. So we need motherfuckers to get angry and be like, bitch, stop playing with me. Because they trained us, and they this is what they made us. They made us soft as hell. To where shit can be happening to us, and we'd be like, you know, like Jesus turned the other cheek. Hell no, fuck that shit. We need to start getting angry, or they gonna keep doing the same shit. They over and over again.
Africa are you from?
I'm from America. That's what we're saying. Just
What
like a
country in
Jamaican.
Africa?
No, hold on. Just like somebody from Jamaica, they're not going to say what country in Africa they're from. Somebody in Haiti is not going to say what country from. They're going to say they're Haitian.
Because they were closer from, what is it called, the triangle slave
But
trade.
then when they
First and foremost, we're not from a country in Africa. It's 50 states in the United States. I don't know if y'all educated since y'all know so much. Let me just explain this to you. It's 50 states in the United States. I was born in Michigan. My parents were born in Michigan. My grandparents were born in Alabama and Tennessee. My great-grandparents were born in Alabama and Mississippi. My great-great-great-grandparents were born in Alabama. My great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were born in Alabama. And my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were still, it wasn't even Alabama yet, it was Indian territory, Creek Indians and Cherokee Indians. So again, we are from North America. We're not African at all, first and foremost. But hey, if y'all want to believe that juice, believe it. But even if y'all go up with all that y'all say, oh, we're African, we came from the slave trade, we're still been in America before anybody. Most people was even over here. We've been here. We are the indigenous people of the United States. Again, we're the indigenous people of North America, but we're the indigenous people of the United States. But after we get that point out, let's understand this. This is what I found real disingenuous when y'all come over here.
Africans look at African Americans, they're like, these people have credit cards. We don't even have credit cards. These people are not even working, and we come here and we busting our asses. And now we're doing this. We're now six figures, and these people have all these years to become all these great jobs and careers, and they're not doing anything. I'm just saying this is what they're saying. Yeah, this is the conversation. It's like y'all have all this time to get free money, free loans, and you don't get that back at home.
Yeah, but
y'all get that when y'all come here, though.
Exactly, and guess what? We're right here, and y'all are still
there's a lot.
Y'all come over here, understanding that y'all are fleeing oppression in your own land. Y'all are fleeing European imperialism in your own land. Y'all are on a land where y'all know this is your land. Y'all know that Africa is your land. All sub-Saharan Africa is yours. Y'all know y'all are fleeing that and taking 1,000-mile trips, going to start a new life in United States and Europe, but you're fleeing the poverty in your own land. Then you guys keep bringing up this poverty about our land. You're comparing yourself to the ghettos of America, but that's the people, even when you get here, you emulate. You emulate from the aesthetic, from the vernacular, from the words you say, from the hairstyles, down to even like how us as men dress, and down to how our women lay their baby hairs down. That's what y'all emulate, the hood people. But let's keep in mind, we are not a monolithic people. We have people in the middle class. We have people in the upper, higher, wealthy class that y'all are trying to become. But y'all not on that level. Y'all don't compare yourself to them. Y'all come up here and compare yourself to our poor. Why aren't you comparing yourself to the millions of people and the millions of poverty that you left in Africa? Why aren't you comparing yourself to that poor? That would be my question. if you came from one of the countries in Africa, when it's millions of poverty, we know we call them ghettos over here. They're called slums in Africa. Why aren't you comparing yourself to the people in the slums in Africa? You can't come over here and say we're doing better. Y'all down here and y'all been here for this many years and y'all ain't doing this. Well, y'all in your own land. Y'all in your land. No, like we're in our land, North America, but y'all know that it's your land. Our imperialisms are different. Like these people that brainwashed us did a lot of stuff, just like y'all been brainwashed a lot too. Don't get me wrong. But y'all haven't got to the level we got when it comes to this imperialism shit. Y'all know it's y'all land. Y'all is y'all land. Why aren't y'all controlling building that? So I'm saying y'all should stay out that conversation because it sounds crazy to us. You come up here comparing yourself to our poor. Meanwhile, you're emulating our poor. Or you're emulating the hoods. You're emulating the ghettos. You're singing the music. You're rapping. You're doing everything our so-called people you saying is down here doing. That's what you're emulating. But at the same time, you're trying to emulate our middle class and our higher class. So when you had a conversation, you don't talk about that middle class and higher class that you obviously know that we have because you came to America and you live in the United States. So you're in the suburbs. You know we have people who live in the suburbs just like you. And we know you have people with more wealth than y'all. So don't start talking about wealth because y'all wealth can't compare to the wealth.
Keeping it 100.
And that's just true, but your wealth is in your land with the people fighting against imperialism. We ain't running to Africa. There's people come over here, get land, and some people
running to Africa.
They're from Africa. I'm one of the people who don't. But it's some people who believe that they're from Africa and they go get property and you know what I'm saying, do things up there. But on a mass scale, when it get tough over here, we're not running to Africa. So you can't compare yourselves to us. Let's be clear. You can't. That's comparing apple to oranges. But we know where we're from. We're from the 50 motherfucking states. And before the 50 states, we're from North America, indigenous North Americans. And let's not forget that you guys are the privileged class. So you had the privilege and you had the resources to be able to leave the poverty over in your land or your country. You guys, as a respected country, you already was privileged more than the other people. So you then come on here to make yourself feel superior. You look at the people who may not be doing the best in America, the whole time emulating them, walking, talking, acting, or you stay in America, your kids going to emulate us. And then to try to compare it, the whole time you was already the privileged class from Africa to be able to get a ticket. Think how many people back in Africa can't wait to get a ticket to be able to go to Europe or United States. And some of them just don't have the means, but your family obviously had the means to get over here. So you, the privileged class already. So you talking about a privileged class trying to come up here and compare yourself to the underprivileged class in the United States.
Man. Let me clear this up. I've been watching some TikTok videos about Black Americans going around claiming that they're the real Native Americans and that the real Native Americans are fake and that they stole our culture. Now, you guys, y'all know damn well that is not true. Yes, some of us have Native ancestry. Yes, some Native Americans did enslave Africans. And yes, we all know that history is messy as hell. But we know for sure that this is not true. There's no proof. There's no language. There's no documents. There's no DNA that proves that we were here first.
We seen it.
You guys are actually going around erasing Native American culture. Why? To feel rooted in your own? Going around erasing someone else's identity to feel good about our own is not cool. That kind of happened to us.
Who's that?
Black people. You guys are beautiful.
Hey, Westside Bo, I was gonna give him the whole I ain't even gonna do it, bro. I ain't gonna do it.
We are mixed people. We are African. We're European. Some of us have native blood.
Oh, man.
We are a beautiful mix. There's no need for us to go around trying to erase someone else's identity just to feel good about our own. Know that you are loved, whether you're dark skinned, you're light skinned, whatever you may be. We've been through hella shit. We have. But don't go around here treating other people the same way we got treated. You're loved. Accept that. Be proud of
He said he got hella sugar, huh? He got sugar and milk all up in there, huh? Sugar and milk, you feel me? More sugar than milk, but okay. He said, I'm the only one that can kind of get a glimpse of this stuff, like in the past life or something. Don't know if it was dreams or am I tripping? Man, we always tripping.
Freedom fighters and farmers, bootleggers and number runners, copper colored skin like clay, cooler than Indian summers, blooded by oracles and seers, water porters and healers, once were warriors, now killers and drug dealers. Mississippi, Choctaw Creek, berets in Baltimore, so my vernacular from the streets, we move carefully. My pack of wolves, they care for me prayerfully. You'll only lose a limb fooling with them. I am the product of a gypsy and a kingpin. I exist somewhere between Egypt and Sing Sing. Born to be a revolutionary since a wee thing. Rebellion in the memory of the memories I was drinking.
I'm telling you, bro. We spiritual and we warriors at the same time, bro. That's what they don't understand. We warriors. Like we warriors. That's us. Like we spiritual warriors. You feel me? That's why, we be fucking with each other, or we fuck with each, we always been warriors. That's just a part of our nature.
1985, the United Nations declared that the Black people, also known as African Americans, are the true indigenous people and the oldest indigenous people on the planet. Right here from America, the oldest indigenous people of the planet. In 1985, the United Nations declared that the Black people, also known as African Americans.
A year and a half, almost a year and a half ago, because of all the thousands of people that I've met over my years, conversations with people that look like African American people. And when you really get down to the nit and the grit of it and ask them, what's your ancestry? Oh, my grandma was a Cherokee, or my great-great-grandfather was
Louis Farrakhan.
I think he was a Seminole. And because of the stolen heritage of American Indians with Black blood and Black people with Indian blood, I felt that it was time to bring about a new organization that we call NCBAI, the National Congress of Black American People, Indians. And when I made the announcement, in 6 months, there were carloads of people from California, Oklahoma, Nebraska, people that came out of the Wampanoag, people in Massachusetts, busloads of people from Atlanta. They all converged upon Washington, D.C. at this little church that only seats maybe 2,000 people. The aisles were packed. They were outside all around the block. And I asked them, why did you come? Because I had to see my family. And I said, what family? I'm Black and I'm Indian. And I have never been to anything where Black Indians or Indians with Black blood came together under one roof. This was the first time in the history of this republic that Black folks with Indian blood and Indian folks with Black blood were able to come together as a people and not feel ridiculed, marginalized, or subjugated because they stood up and told the world who they are. I would like to invite the Nation of Islam, and especially you, my brother,
like a Black nation,
to be a part of who we are, because we're already connected by blood. So the celebration goes on.
I would like, building on that beautiful picture of Black men and women who have Indian roots, and red men and women, or Indian men and women that have some Black roots. 10-10-15. That's a date that will go down in history.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy, right? Because I like some of the information Farrakhan be putting out. I think the way he talk just gets me, I think. I just don't like it. I don't know. You feel me? I grew up with pimps and stuff, so I know a pimp when I hear one. You feel me? A pimp reverend / I don't know, but the messages be cool, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of cringy to me. It's like it's an act.
I would like to see all the tribes those that know that their roots are intertwined and those that don't. You have a legitimate grievance to put before the United States government. We have a legitimate grievance to put before the United States government. All other matters of justice are small in comparison to the red.
And then I'm gonna tell you this, right? Because all the real people that were spitting these so-called facts, think about this, right? Like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, most of the real people that were spitting facts and going against the government, JFK, you know them, they got knocked off. How can somebody, you know, like this, who they know have power like Malcolm X did, be able to continue to do what he's doing? It's something up with this. I ain't dug into it, but I know somebody knows something out there. It's something up with this for him to be able to continue to do what he's doing, and you know, and nobody's tried to stop it. It's something up. I can't put my finger on it, but it's something up with that shit, bro.
And the black. Even though our Latino family must have their grievances redressed, there is no grievance that anybody has that's more difficult to solve than the problem of the black and the red. May I say this, my brother? I was up in Pine Ridge with Russell Means at the Sundance.
One of my dearest friends.
I took my wife and my son. My son knew how to go in the wilderness and build a tent where they stayed. I watched my wife. They put a blanket over her arm because she has Indian roots. And they danced. My wife had never danced.
Hey, this is the thing I can't stand neither. Okay. This is the thing. This is how they always program us. They always get us. They go get somebody. They go get the most powerful people who, like, of our race, and they put them together with somebody to make us go, oh, since he's doing it, now I'm going to do it. They've been doing this bullshit for years. That's why I don't be following the shit, because they'll go get Michael Jordan. You feel me? Like they did Nicki Minaj and stand her next to Trump. And now, you know, everybody, you know, it's like they do this shit on purpose in order to get the dummies to go, oh, Nicki Minaj like Trump, so I like Trump too. Oh, Farrakhan like whoop-de-whoop, so I like whoop-de-whoop too. They get these certain people and put them up. So we're looking at them and we're following them. Like, as you can't, like, we don't know how to fucking think for ourselves. You don't know, like, yourself don't know wrong from right. Like, you don't see it. Like, this is what they do. If Farrakhan said it, it's okay. And it's like, nah, get out of here with that bullshit. You feel me? They've been doing this shit for so long. Right now. We follow the persona of these people, and then we fall in love with the persona, and that don't even be the person. Why you think they put these motherfuckers in front of us? You feel me? They put them in front of us on purpose and make us look at them like they're somebody better than what you are, bro. Better than what you are. And it's like, we got to wake up to this bullshit.
This shit be battle between both of my communities, the African American and the Native American community.
On Sunday.
Not debating, but claiming that the parties are indigenous to America. We have the Native Americans saying that black people came from Africa, which is what they told us in the history books. And then we have African Americans saying that they were already here. And me coming from both communities, I feel like I have good say, only because it's not biased whatsoever, because I'm very involved in both of my communities. So what the black community is saying is they are not Native American. They're not trying to claim your ancestors, obviously. They're saying that they are indigenous to America. They are indigenous to the entire earth. And like I mentioned in my recent videos, this can be proven scientifically and in nature. So when Native Americans are bringing up, oh, you're just a Pretendian, show me your blood quantum, and like show me like a DNA test. Why would we need a DNA?
Oh, that's the part that killed me, bro. This right here, this killed me when Obama was like, you feel me, and everybody was like, yeah, it's gonna be a black president. We going to go vote for Obama. I was like, this nigga, oh, he don't work for us. I don't know who we gonna start understanding that none of these people they put in front of us work for us. Remember on South Park, they had the douchebag and they had the other fucked up thing, and they said they put them both in front of you, the douchebag and I don't know, an old toilet paper roll, and said these are the two people you can vote for right here. You feel me? And you going, oh yeah, the douchebag is why? What the fuck, bro? And they put the people in front of us, and we accept it, and we go, okay, yeah, well, I like that one because he's saying this, 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 and this, and all of them do the same thing when they get in office. They do the opposite of what they said they was gonna do. You feel me? All of them. So it's like, but I mean, people like playing that game, bro. People like playing that game and rolling out the Obama as if we care. They nice people, but it's gonna make more. You say my grandmother not gonna help America pay down that 40 trillion in debt. They better kill that. He wants to do it. What the fuck, bro?
Claiming that Native Americans are actually Asians and colonizers, and that Black Americans are the real Native Americans, that is cultural erasure, and that's part of colonization.
I feel bad for this girl. I really do. She's been lied to her entire life thinking that Black Americans are actually African, but that's racist. I should know. I am racist. They only started calling Black people African Americans in the 1980s when they wanted to take their rights away even more. And it's because of propaganda like Roots made people think they were slaves. But no, that's all fake. I made a whole video showing you how slavery is fake. How are you supposed to put 200 Africans on a boat and ship them off across the sea for 6 to 8 months? No food, no water. What the fuck? There's millions of Black Americans here. How you make it out of 100 people? It's so stupid. And what do you mean they're not Siberian? Have you never seen like Siberians in Russia? They have the same fucking dances and drums. It's the same shit.
Do you know why the American government had to make Black children betray their grandparents by making them believe that they came from Africa? That's because they stole this country from us, and they wanted our parents to give away the land that our ancestors owned for thousands of years. See, what they won't tell you is that when we started integrating into their schools after the Indian Civil Rights Act of 1968, they taught our parents a fake history, and they started teaching them Africanism. They taught them that they came from Africa on slave ships. And if you ask your grandparents or your great-grandparents, if they're about 70 years old, Grandma, did you learn in school that you were a slave or that your people came from Africa? They will tell you no, and that they didn't hear anything about that. I told my grandma this, and she said, these white people crazy. They making all this stuff up.
Okay. It's party time. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta.
You want it? The mask, bro. The mask. I'm like, golly, that's crazy because when like my grandfather, he didn't even go to school. Like school, we had to work. And like my mama said the same thing would trip me out. It's like, like even though she went to school, like she said they was picking cotton and shit at fucking 5 years old. Like think about that though, right? Like you have your kid and then your kid is out there working with you in the fields. It's like that's like me taking my kids to work and my kids working my job with me. The same job I'm working, they working. You feel me? I'm driving the bus. They the mechanics and shit. They cleaning the buses and shit. That's some wild shit, bro. You feel me? Like we came a long ways. We went through a lot of shit. And I'm gonna end this video right here, but give me like 30 minutes. I'm gonna take a quick 30-minute break. And then I'm going to be back, bro. I'm going to be back. And we're going to do another one. But peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Dang, man. That shit is crazy. What the fuck? What the fuck? Say that shit 1,000 times. What in the fuck?